Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to the Dominican Republic breaking news. Guys, I was on the beach today and I was walking along Playa Sosua right here on the north coast of the Dominican Republic in a province by the name of Puerto Plata and in a municipal by the name of Sosua. And that is where this footage was taken today. A cow got loose on the beach right when they are making modern day infrastructures, plazas on Playa Sosua, Sosua Beach. We have a cow on the loose. So, as I tell this newscast, I thought I would just kind of, go in and out of this video. So, again, this is the breaking news here, top breaking news in the Dominican Republic. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about the news. I am your anchor, Cerise Fairfax, and I'm welcoming you right here to the comprehensive news update for the week of November 5th through November 10th, 2025. Tonight, I'm going to bring you the latest news on government developments, weather updates as we enter the cooler season. But the Dominican Republic is always hot, for those of you who don't know. And we enter high season with tourism milestones, local events, and important crime and safety information. Let's begin with our top stories. We start tonight with breaking government news. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs has announced the postponement of the 10th Summit of the Americas, which was scheduled to take place here in the Dominican Republic. The decision was made in careful coordination with key international partners, including the United States, the Organization of American States, and the Inter-American Development Bank, according to MERIC's officials. The postponement comes after a thorough assessment of the regional context and aims to ensure more effective outcomes from the summit. Officials cite current challenges to hemispheric dialogue and the effects of recent weather events that have impacted several Caribbean nations as key factors in the decision. The Dominican government has emphasized that all resources already invested will be maintained and redirected toward the rescheduled event. Merrick's stated that this delay will provide valuable time for broader consultations on the new date and allow the inclusion of recently elected democratic governments in the region. The ministry reaffirmed the nation's commitment to multilateralism, regional cooperation, and integration as guiding principles of Dominican foreign policy. Story 2. In Story 2, Immigration Enforcement. In domestic policy news, the General Directorate of Migration has launched intensified nighttime operations to strengthen immigration controls across the country. The initiative focuses on reinforcing actions against foreigners residing irregularly without documentation in the Dominican Republic, particularly in high traffic areas of the National District of Santo Domingo. The strategy involves deploying ununiformed agents in visible patrols with teams of 7 members operating under coordinating officers to ensure adherence to protocols and respect for human rights. These operations will be carried out daily with greater intensity on weekends when agents remain on duty until the early morning hours. Individuals found without proper documentation are being transferred to the immigration processing centers. Story 3. Marriage law clarification. Many people come to the Dominican Republic and they fall in love. This is one of the best places that people come to, and the relationships can be intense. Then, of course, they want to get married. Now, Of course, there are some laws, and we're going to talk about that right now because the Central Electoral Board has issued an important clarification regarding marriage laws in the Dominican Republic. The JCE reaffirmed that it has not registered and will not register any same sex marriages, emphasizing that such unions are not recognized under the Dominican Constitution or current laws. The statement came in response to recent social media posts about a wedding ceremony. The JCE clarified that the only civil registry officials and duly accredited religious institutions are authorized to perform marriages in the Dominican Republic, and only between a man and a woman, as specified in Articles 55 and related constitutional provisions. Today we're going to talk about the weather. Yes. Now let's turn to the weather for your extended weather forecast as we transition into the cooler season. The 5-month period lasting from November through mid-April will see between 20 and 30 cold fronts approach the northern Caribbean, with 8 to 15 directly affecting our country. According to local meteorologist Jean Cerise, 2 cold fronts have already passed near the northern Caribbean, with another expected this week. Looking ahead, a polar air mass is forecast to reach the island around November 16th, which will further lower temperatures across the region. Now let's turn to the weather. November 5th to November 10th. For this week specifically, here's what you can expect. Wednesday, November 5th. Today, considerable cloudiness with occasional rain showers, a high of 29 degrees Celsius, 85 degrees Fahrenheit. 51% chance of rain with approximately 5.5 millimeters expected. It has rained all last night, quite heavily, and also this morning the rain started at around 7:30 a.m. and it has been showering since. At this moment right now, I'm making the newscast at 10 o'clock in the morning. Thursday, November 6th, partly cloudy with minimal rain, a high of 29 degrees Celsius, less than 1 millimeter of rainfall expected. Friday, November 7th, scattered clouds with light showers possible, a high of 29 degrees Celsius. Saturday, November 8th, mostly sunny conditions, a high of 29 degrees Celsius. Sunday, November 9th, partly cloudy, a high of 28 degrees Celsius. Light showers possible, around 4 millimeters. Monday, November 10th, partly cloudy, high of 28. Light precipitation of approximately 3.8 millimeters. The cooling trend will be most noticeable in the Cibao Valley and mountain regions. High altitude areas such as Valle Nuevo, Pico Duarte, Valle de Bao, and the Sierra de Bajoruco may experience significantly cooler temperatures, particularly during the coldest months from January 15th to March 15th. Now, when I say coldest months, it still is, once again, hot in the Dominican Republic. At night in the early morning, especially between 6 p.m. and 9 a.m., the air will feel much cooler throughout the country. However, daytime warmth will persist until late November. Popular mountain destinations like Constanza, Hawabacoa, Ocoa, Polo, San Jose de las Matas, Polo in Barahona, and Loma de Cabrera are perfect for those looking to enjoy the cooler temperatures. Now, exciting news in the tourism sector, where the Dominican Republic continues to strengthen its position as a premier Caribbean destination. The Dominican report The Dominican Port Authority has announced the arrival of 10 cruise ships visiting the country for the first time, marking a major milestone for Dominican tourism. The new vessels include the Ada Sol, Cell XL, Brilliant Lady, Brilliant OTS, Rhapsody, Carnival Legend, Majestic Princess, Coral Princess, NCL Getaway, and NCL Joy. These ships belong to some of the world's leading cruise lines, including Ada, Celebrity Cruises, Virgin Voyages, MSC Cruises, Royal Caribbean, Carnival, Princess Cruises, and Norwegian Cruise Line. Apportum's executive director, Jean-Louis Rodriguez, emphasized that this development reinforces the trust major cruise companies place in the Dominican Republic as a premier travel destination. He highlighted that the country's posts continue to attract growing international attention, offering visitors diverse coastal experiences. For November alone, an impressive 67 cruise ships are scheduled to arrive at Dominican ports, the second highest number recorded this year. Taino Bay will receive 40 ships, Amber Cove, 23, and Cabo Rojo, 4. In Puerto Plata specifically, November marks the start of the peak cruise season, with 49 cruise ships arriving at the ports of Amber Cove and Taino Bay. This represents 39 more visits than in October and provides a significant boost to the province's economy, directly impacting thousands of families who depend on tourism. In the January to September period of this year, Puerto Plata received 1,621,775 cruise passengers, accounting for 81.4% of all cruise visitors to Dominican ports. Last year, Puerto Plata welcomed 2,186,000 cruise passengers, representing 80% of all sea arrivals to the country. Colonial improvements. Tourism Minister David Collado recently inaugurated 11 newly reconstructed streets in the historic city in the colonial area in Santo Domingo. This infrastructure improvement enhances one of the Dominican Republic's most important cultural and tourist attractions, making it more accessible and enjoyable for the millions of visitors who explore this UNESCO World Heritage Site each year. In hotel news, the Lopesan Costa Bávaro Resort, Spa, and Casino in Punta Cana continues to set new standards for Caribbean hospitality, offering premium experiences that attract international visitors seeking luxury accommodations along our beautiful coastline. The tourism sector remains strong, with these developments confirming the Dominican Republic's position as a leading destination in the Caribbean region. Now let's look at cultural events happening this week and for the weeks to come. There's plenty to keep residents and visitors entertained. Event 1, Music Festival, This weekend, November 7th to the 9th, music lovers can attend a major music festival in Higüey, featuring international artists including Ira Star, Sexy Red, and DJ Mafariza. This 3 day event promises to bring exciting performances and entertainment to the Eastern region. Event 2, Jazz Festival Season. As November progresses, jazz enthusiasts should prepare for the annual Dominican Republic Jazz Festival, traditionally held in the coastal towns of Sosua, Puerto Plata, and Cabarete on the North Coast. This week long event features local jazz artists as well as international talents from Latin America and Europe, offering a unique blend of music and beachside atmosphere. Event 3, Bad Bunny Concert. Mark your calendars. Global superstar Bad Bunny is scheduled to perform at the Estadio Olímpico Felix Sanchez in Santo Domingo on November 21st, just outside our coverage period, but it's still worth noting for those who are planning ahead. Event 4, Tourist Activities. Popular tourist excursions continue throughout the week, including catamaran trips to Saona Island with buffet lunch, buggy and ATV tours to Macau Beach and also the rivers and local caves, and visits to Ocean World Adventure Park in Puerto Plata. These activities showcase the diverse experiences available across our beautiful country. If you have any questions about events and tours, give me a shout. I also give tours here in Sosua, Cabarete, and the countryside. If you would like to go for a wonderful trip to the river, have a barbecue, and chill and relax, learn how to play dominoes, and have a rum and river day, just let me know. Event 5, New Year's Eve preparations. Already we're talking about New Year's Eve. As we move through November, many venues and hotels are beginning preparations for the Dominican Republic's famous New Year's Eve celebrations, known for their energy and all-night music and dancing that will last well into the early morning hours. Now we turn to public safety news. While the Dominican Republic continues to make progress in crime reduction, authorities urge residents and visitors to remain mindful and vigilant. Earlier this year, President Luis Abinader announced that the Dominican Republic recorded a historic low homicide rate of 7.8 per 100,000 inhabitants, even as other countries in the region face rising crime rates. This represents significant progress in the national security efforts. Additionally, robberies decreased by 20% compared to the previous year, credited to the effectiveness of the Joint Task Force, which has been working to reduce crime across the country. The government shares transparent crime statistics weekly through agencies including the National Police, the Public Prosecutor's Office, and the National Drug Control Directorate. The dedicated tourist police force, Politor, maintains a strong presence in major tourist destinations including Punta Cana, Santo Domingo, Puerto Plata, and other popular areas. Tourist destinations are generally more heavily policed than metropolitan or rural areas. Authorities remind both residents and visitors to take common sense precautions. Remain aware of your surroundings. Remain aware of your surroundings. Avoid displaying valuable items openly. Do not use phones openly in crowded streets. Travel in groups when possible, and when you're alone, Just make sure that you use your common sense and be mindful of where you are. Tell people where you are going. And never leave your drink. Just like in any busy country, always make sure that you take your drink with you and never leave it unattended. If confronted by criminals, the president's if confronted by pre- if confronted if you have any emergency, you can dial 911 anywhere in the country, except for some areas near the Haitian border. For tourist specific assistance, you can contact Politor at 809 222 2026 to report crimes or emergencies. The U.S. Embassy, you can call 809 567 7775 after contacting local authorities. Let's move now to border security. Following the new cholera outbreak in Haiti, Dominican health officials have tightened surveillance along the border. The land and sea borders with Haiti remain closed to travelers, and the security environment in border areas, particularly in Dajabon, remains unpredictable. It will remain closed until further notice. The Embassy of Canada has stated it cannot assist with entry from Haiti. Authorities emphasize that disturbances and incidents are common near the border, and emergency services are often unavailable in these areas. Citizens are advised to avoid non-essential travel to border regions. The Ministry of Public Health reports that there are still no cases of cholera in the Dominican Republic, despite the outbreak in neighboring Haiti. Border measures have been reinforced, and monitoring continues through the national surveillance system. Health officials stress the importance of preventative measures, frequent hand washing, drinking purified water, and eating safe food. The ministry continues to strengthen response capabilities to ensure the country's preparedness for potential health events. Before we close tonight's broadcast, a quick recap of our top stories. Again, the 10th Summit of the Americas has been postponed, with the Dominican government working with international partners to reschedule the major diplomatic event. We've officially entered the frontal season, bringing cooler temperatures, especially noticeable at night and in mountain regions. This week's weather remains pleasant, with temperatures in the high 20s, occasional light showers, and beautiful Caribbean conditions. Tourism continues in strong performance, with 10 new cruise ships making their first visits to the Dominican ports and 67 total cruise arrivals expected this November, a record-setting month for our maritime tourism sector. Cultural events this week include a major music festival in Higüey and ongoing preparations for the jazz festival season on the North Coast. Public safety remains a priority, with historic low crime rates and continued vigilance from authorities and citizens alike. As we move through this first full week of November, the Dominican Republic continues to showcase why it remains one of the Caribbean's premier destinations, balancing development and tourism growth with cultural preservation and public safety. For 24/7 updates, visit DominicanToday.com or follow local news store. For more updates, please be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit that like button. You will be notified as soon as a video is uploaded. On this channel, I provide information about breaking news in the Dominican Republic. I also follow real estate If you have any real estate questions, I am a real estate advisor and I can connect you with very reputable real estate agents and listings that are available to you within your budget. I also provide low budget or income friendly, budget friendly apartments here on the North Coast. I make random videos about what's going on when it happens. So please be informed. Go ahead and subscribe. Once again, my name is Cerise Fairfax. And hey, listen, I know YouTube gave you a lot of videos to click on, but you clicked on this one. I appreciate you. Have yourself an amazing day. Please do me two favors. One, be good to yourself out there. You deserve it. And two, tomorrow's not promised. So you go ahead and make the best of today. Huge hugs, loads of love, and big blessings. I'll see you in the next video.